Hey, what's up? It's Angie. This is newpathtarot, and I'm doing a reveal for one of the readings that I posted. Some of you guys have already selected which one you wanted from social media, but I'm going to give you the opportunity to select live as well. So if you are pile 1, you're choosing this deck. I'm going to be using this one for the readings. If you choose 2, this is what the back of the deck looks like. So basically you're just kind of tuning into the energy of what the deck itself will provide you in the messages. And here's 3. Okay, so if you're 1, we're getting started now. Your card was the 9 of Cups. So in this card deck, which is the I want to make sure I'm saying the right one. Yeah, the Arcanum Tarot. Let me pause, and I'm gonna shuffle up real good, and then we'll start your reading. Okay, so the 9 of Cups in itself, I put it back in the deck. If it comes back out, we'll talk about it a little bit more. Otherwise, it's on the back burner to see if maybe it feels relevant to come up or not. If not, I'm gonna go forward with this. You got interesting, 2 different knights so far, and they're facing each other. Not even sure what we're talking about yet, but whenever knights show up, it's letting me know that there's messages. So this is like messages going back and forth kind of thing. I'm hearing the saying, don't shoot the messenger, because I guess maybe something that's being said is not, it's being lost in translation. In fact, if you look at in this card deck how the 8 of Wands is, normally in the Rider-Waite, it doesn't have a character in that card. It's just the wands alone. Well, also, it's hard to show you because I have to switch them, but these 2 knights are facing each other. And I'm getting the impression, especially being that this is the Wands one over here. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to do a good job visually explaining this. So you have 2 knights who are sending each other messages, but they are being sent by a middleman. And so on the Cups side, he sent over a message. This is that message, and he got it, and he went, "What the is this? What is this?" And it totally got interpreted incorrectly. It's like a text that was misread, or some kind of like. So I would ask you to consider what recently, or if this is upcoming, especially if it's upcoming, it hasn't happened yet. If this were to happen, let's say you get a text in and you're like, what the hell? And you notice you get triggered really fast. This might be what I'm talking about. But if it's already happened, or let's say you're the one who sent the text and the other person received it badly, just weird stuff going on with communication. Written communication is what I'm getting. Might not be directly a text, but some kind of written communication is not being received properly on the other side. You either want to cut out the middleman, meaning speak directly. Like, let's say it's a text, right? Speak directly to the person instead of texting. Or B, if there's literally a middle person that is involved between the communication of you and someone else, like they're hearing something that you said, or something like that, then cut that out and just go to the person and try to clear it up. Oh, lovely construction again. When will it end? Okay, 7 of Swords. There could be somebody, if there's somebody involved in the middle, who is purposely doing the communication wrong. It's kind of dark, but it's kind of a dark card anyway. There we go. Because they're sneaking. They're not being forthright. So they might have other intentions, this other person. Moon reversed. Reversed is better than upright. I'm being drawn to the visual on this card. So even though it's a moon, it looks to me like when it was upside down, it looked like somebody was looking down at their reflection, and there's the crab there, and it's like they're looking down and they're like seeing themselves as being the crab. Like, I'm cranky, or, you know, I don't know what it could be specifically, but it's like they're seeing a part of themselves that they don't like seeing, and it's bothering them. They're seeing, it's like it's literally making an impression on how they're perceiving themselves, and they're sitting in that energy, and they're like, so let's tie this with the communication then, right? Let's say you received a text that made you really think about yourself in a different way. Like, they pointed something out about yourself and you're taking it to heart. Or you sent a text to somebody that was pretty harsh, and now you're kind of either regretting it or going over what you said and thinking, maybe I should, like, maybe what I said was true, but I shouldn't have said it that way, or, you know, something like that. Some kind of past or upcoming communication that you're gonna then either receive from somebody else, or you're gonna give and then judge yourself harshly for having done it the way that you did. Okay, and then we got Two of Pentacles reversed and Justice. I'm wondering if that's still a connected message. I know the Two of Pentacles is because it's framed within the two Knights. So it's like all of this, and then Justice is out on the outskirts. So let me look at this Two of Pentacles. Being that it's reversed, it's harder to see when it's upside down and get the energy of it. I don't know, that's a weird message. Let me get a clarifier for that Two of Pentacles, so that I'm not just sitting here wondering. Oh God. Come on. Okay, Page of Wands. Don't have somebody else clean up this mess. I know I already said you got to be the one to, especially if this is something legal. Okay, with Justice cards sitting out on the side like that, I'm thinking, what if this is something that's not like between you and a friend? What if this is between you and an enemy? And you can't go to the enemy directly because this is a legal matter. So you are thinking, okay, well, how else can I do this? I need to figure out a way to handle this. That's that Two of Pentacles going, and there's money involved too. This is like, and this is, I'm branching this off. I'm saying it could be the first situation, but I'm saying if it's not that, it's even bigger. And so if you're not able to solve it by going directly to the person, if you're not able to, if you're like, I'm literally not able to, you're going to need to do a different approach, because whoever you've been using, let's say you've been using a lawyer, but then you are realizing that lawyer isn't really necessarily doing the best job they can, or maybe they're in it for the money, or, you know, whatever intentions, then you think, well, maybe what could be another way? Should I get another lawyer? Should I use like a mediator? You know, what can I maybe do instead? That's where this Page of Wands comes in. This is somebody else. This is somebody who would definitely be a better option for you, because they're carrying a wand. So they understand. The other person was carrying swords. And you can just tell they're being sneaky about it in general. But this person here has your best interest in mind and is the best person to convey your message. So if you do need to have a middleman, you probably need to fix and change who your middleman is for this situation, right? So there's that. I'm going to put these to the side and look at what next messages we have. So that was a pretty specific topic that was going on. This one seems to be a little bit more personal. All reversals except the Magician. So the cards that are coming up are Magician upright, Nine of Wands reversed, Two of Cups reversed, Judgment reversed, Sun reversed, Wheel reversed, Queen of Cups reversed. So you have 4 major arcana here in a pile of 7 cards. That's a big ratio of major arcanas. And that 3 of them are reversed. specifically Judgment, the Sun, and the Wheel. However, the light at the end of the tunnel here, the biggest keynote to take away here is that the Magician is starting at the front and upright. So I feel like, I wish I could show you this visual that I'm about to do, but the Magician kind of like, boom, turns around the Seven of Wands, turns around the Two of Cups, turns around. It's like he takes everything and fixes it, turns it all around. Okay, great. Now everything is being looked at clearly. Everything is upright. I fixed it. So that means, because the Magician card in itself is a manifestation card, you are going to physically have to do something. This is, mind you, a separate discussion from the last cards. In this case, you're going to have to do something besides that. You probably have a lot of things in your life that you need to get your fingers in and literally start doing things with them, whether it be phone calls that need to be made or appointments that need to be set, because things have been closed for a while, but as things start opening back up, it's time to get the ball rolling again with your own. It could be self-care, it could be like meaning your health, or just things that you have been having on the back burner. Boom, 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 all starting to come back again. So with the Nine of Wands, I feel like there's a lot of things, but good news, it's not the Ten of Wands showing up. That's somebody who's like overwhelmed and overworked. You can this is manageable. This is something that you can handle, that you can make be, step by step, and not being overwhelmed with this. So with the Two of Cups, there's something that has to do with you and another person. It could be a literal contract, or it could just be, it could be talking about a relationship. It was upside down. You're going to have to do something to change it, whether it's a conversation you need to have, or open-ended, honest communication where you're literally like saying, here's the deal, blah, blah, blah. And then they too need to say, okay, and here's my side, blah, blah, blah. But you have to initiate it because they're not going to. And you need to say something that is going to get the situation to be put upright. Okay, Judgment. I think a lot of times when I see Judgment coming up reversed, it feels like somebody has a disconnect with their intuition, but it's more than High Priestess. It's more than Two of Swords reversed. It's like you're not even getting, it's like you're blocked from receiving even, because High Priestess reversed is, when I get that, it's generally the messages are coming to you, but you're not getting them, you're not picking up on them. Two of Swords is you're getting the messages, but you're not taking the advice of them, you're not following the guidance. But Judgment reversed is like silence. You're not getting anything, nothing's coming in, you're cut off from your beyond the veil communications. So when that is the case, you need to, again, magician that and fix that situation. It could be something simple, such as saying, okay, I recognize I've been cut off for a while now and I need that to change. I am open to receiving communication. I will not, sometimes you can get cut off because you're so Two of Swords about it for so long. You're so cut off about it that they're like, well, what's the point? Maybe you need to know what it's like to not get anything. And then you'll actually appreciate it, that kind of thing. You'll notice it. You'll pay attention to it. Okay. Or more than just notice, but you'll acknowledge it and admit that it's something and it's not just some kind of coincidence. So I just want to point out the Magician really quick. I realized I didn't show it before. Notice how this guy has all 4 suits at his disposal. He's got the swords, he's got the cups, he's got the pentacles, he's got the wand. So even more so above him, he's got the balance between the masculine and the feminine energies. The complete balance, 50-50 of both. So this dude's like in it to win it. He's got this. I'll just really quickly show you the cards that I had forgotten while I'm talking, but this is the 9 of Swords. One thing at a time, you know, one foot in front of the other. Tasks on your table, checking marks off your to-do list, you know, that kind of thing. This is that conversation needing to be had with another, or some kind of, you might be in the midst of a contract that needs to be signed. But remember, it was reversed, so there's something that needs to be done about it. It's not just like take it as it is. If there's a contract, you want to perhaps change something about it before you just sign away. Okay, we just talked about Judgment reversed. So again, if you're noticing that you haven't been getting as much intuitive guidance or anything like that, signs, whatever, that's probably just like a conversation you need to have with whatever you believe in, and be like, look, I'm on the receptive mode again. Go ahead, send the messages. I will actually listen this time. Okay, Sun reversed. What does Magician have to do to get Sun upright? This feels like a little bit further out in the future. Like the Sun, the Wheel, and the Queen of Cups out in the future, I almost feel like I don't need to talk about them, because it's just kind of putting on your back burner. Because remember, the 9 of Wands is dealing with one thing at a time. Doesn't this dude look like Paul Walker? Like, it's distracting me. So yeah, he needs his car so he can go drive around Fast and the Furious, you know? He's like waiting at the valet. Somebody bring me my car. But he's waiting in spirit. You know, one thing at a time. Handle your tasks. Get shit done. Don't procrastinate. Make it happen. And then, by the time when you come up to the Sun and the Wheel and the Queen of Cups, I think you'll have that momentum to start like feeling like, okay, I'm finally ahead of the game here. I'm not just pushing things. Like, this was a message that came up the other day. It was like, it felt like the energy, I think it might have been the Judgment card, actually, in hindsight. The energy of somebody who was like delaying things, and then they were causing problems because they were just too overwhelmed to be able to handle them. And then that puts you in a rut of feeling like, oh my God, because I missed that deadline, now I'm screwed. You know, that kind of thing. All right, last parting messages. Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Swords reversed, King of Cups, 6 of Pentacles. If you are having money problems, I'm going to go ahead and say to not borrow money anymore if you already have, if you have been. Figure out a different way to do things, because I don't know what's up with it. Everybody's case is going to be different, but it's not going to be good for you going forward. And the sooner you can pay off your debtors. Now, if you are in the position where you're the one lending money, I'm gonna say the same thing. I don't think that's the best time right now. For one, I'm not sure you're gonna get it back, or at least not anytime soon. So it's not really a lending, it's more like a giving. But there's something weird about it, in like how it's affecting your energy is the biggest takeaway. With the Knight of Swords and the King of Cups, it's like this weird power play kind of, somebody holding it over your head kind of thing, and you being disempowered. Like if you're the Knight of Swords because you borrowed money, and then they're the King of Cups because they hold power over you now. And let's say it's the opposite, where you're the one borrowing the money. You might not be that King of Cups on purpose, but it's an energy thing, and it's almost like they're feeling that like they're less than. That's just their own self-worth thing that they're working through. However, I do want to say there's something about, it came to me and then I got a notification on my phone and I got sidetracked. I just flipped over the next card just to see if it was going to continue the story, and this is how the disempowered feeling is when you're in a position where you're not able to handle your finances properly. And there's a lot of people going through this, so it's not far to reach this one, you know, like it's highly likely this applies to many people watching in one way or another. So yeah, that Five of Cups disempowered feeling coming with the Knight of Swords. Man, I really wish I could remember what that message was. Yeah, Five of Pentacles. In the Rider-Waite, it's two people who are homeless walking in front of the church outside in the snow. One's on crutches and they're clearly down and out. This person here is like a beggar. She's got like a cup asking for handouts outside the church. Same difference. So it's still continuing the message when I'm pulling these additional cards. Let's see what the next one is. King of Pentacles reversed. Makes sense, right? I'm tending to lean towards the side that if you're watching, you're the one who's in the hardship position as opposed to the giving position. Eight of Swords reversed. Now, when we get the Eight of Swords, this is a card of somebody who isn't actually stuck. They can get out of their circumstances. But in the reverse position, you might actually be stuck. You might actually have no good way out of this situation. Oh, I do remember now, finally, what I was going to talk about. So remember how I started with the Justice card and saying that this might be an actual legal situation. There might be money involved in this legal situation. So if it's a settlement or whether it's some kind of family court thing that deals with finances and splitting assets or child support or, you know, all that sort of thing, this would require a personal reading to dig in on more. Uh-oh, Ten of Wands coming in. You know, I was like, oh yeah, you guys got Nine of Wands, you're good. But then Ten of Wands. Rider-Waite version, a lot more, like this guy he can see around him. And he's like, yeah, I got this heavy load to carry, but I can at least see. Because the Ten of Wands up in his face are the other version, which I feel is accurate in your case. It's not that because this card makes it look nicer that your situation is nicer. This could be somebody who has to work like 3 jobs or doing favors for people just to make ends meet. They're indebted to people, you know, that sort of thing. That's the whole vibe I'm getting here. Especially now we got another card continuing the message, Four of Cups. Remember what I said Five of Cups is that low vibe kind of feeling? Four of Cups is very similar to Five, except Five is more like regret. Four is more like apathy. So they're not far off from each other on the scale of emotions, though. Well, here's good. I could say that that's the wrap up of the cards of that message, that whole message, which we got 3, 6, 9, 10 cards that are all like in alignment with each other. But then I would like to, I'm trying to find, this is like been in the back of my mind the whole time. I'm trying to find a resolution here. I'm trying to find a solution. So Empress, I kind of feel in a way like you're going to need to deal with things in a different way. I feel like you need to backstep from your whole situation and go back to the drawing board and think, you know, realistically, where are you at? Make peace with what decisions you've made up till now that have gotten you where you're at. Take an honest snapshot of, okay, this is the exact dollar amounts of these situations that I need to deal with. You might be upside down, admit that. You know, don't let it be what gets you, but, you know, take honest inventory and then just decide where or how are you going to deal with this situation the best. With that 10 of Wands, or with the 9 of Wands, taking care of one thing at a time. Those two messages tie very closely together, except this goes in deeper and it specifically hones in on the finances, whereas the last message had more to do with like tasks and things that you got to get done. But those things you got to get done potentially could be costing you money if you're missing deadlines and things like that. It could be affecting you long-term financially. So this is like, stop the clock, take care of this stuff, don't let it delay anymore. Stop being like dissociating from it and hoping like things will resolve if you just ignore them, because that never is the best idea. You know, all that sort of stuff. Okay? Cool. Well, I hope that gave you some practical help. I like to think that my tarot readings are not just like light and fluffy if they don't need to be. If they need to be practical and give you like legit daily advice, then that's where they go, you know? I don't try to define where the readings go. I'm just like, okay, whatever needs to be said, have it be said. Hopefully it's the best and most helpful messages, because that's what I intend them to be. All right? So if you also picked pile 2, then just keep watching and I'm gonna go right into pile 2. Okay, pile 2 people, you are the Queen of Cups in this card deck. So if you picked this one, Queen of Cups. So I'm gonna pause it while I put her back in. I'm gonna shuffle, we're gonna get going with your reading. Okay, ready? 8 of Wands reversed. Wheel of Fortune. The Moon reversed. Tower reversed. Venus reversed, which I guess I have those mixed in. I didn't mean to. I'm not like super big into astrology, so if it means something to you, then great. And I will like intuitively read from it, but not directly probably. Lovers, Knight of Pentacles, and then Pisces reversed, same thing. Okay, so I'm going to put the Venus and the Pisces reversed to the side. I'll look at that separately. 8 of Wands reversed, Wheel of Fortune, Moon reversed, Tower reversed, Lovers upright, Knight of Pentacles upright. Okay, when the Lovers comes out, it's always like me evaluating, is this a choice that needs to be made, or is it literally talking about a Lovers kind of situation? This to me does feel like it is a relationship kind of thing, but it's two people who are not together. The Knight of Pentacles is like somebody walked away from it. It's past, being that the Tower is reversed, but it does feel like there was a big falling out, or a big like, especially Moon too. Moon is like, in the past it was a heavier energy, now it's kind of subsided a little bit, it's softer. But yeah, there was like either like a big falling out, or there was something crazy like having to do with it. A lot of different things with the 8 of Wands. It was like one after another, boom, 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 boom. So it just kind of culminated in this big ordeal, conclusion, and ending. And that's the current status of it. Wheel of Fortune, though, does imply to me that This can change, this can shift, something about it. A change of fate kind of thing. Let me look at the Venus and the Pisces. Because I'm not trying to get caught up on the actual planetary stuff, but the messages of the card in general. I don't know. I think basically what I know, there's a lot of weird planetary stuff going on right now, like a lot of retrogrades and things like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if, for example, when Venus goes retrograde, I do know, and I think it might currently be in retrograde. I could easily look it up, but whatever. I know that it triggers a lot of like exes coming back into the picture. Could be reconciliation, could be closure. Like there's a lot of different reasons why it happens for everybody. But it could also be second chances. So I'm kind of getting that vibe with those cards, is that there's a potential second chance available. Okay, King of Wands, Moon reversed. Wait, didn't we already have the Moon? Okay, so the Tarot, the Moon, and then Moon as in planetary alignment stuff. Okay, Ten of Pentacles reversed, Taurus, Three of Cups, Five of Swords. Okay, are we still in Taurus season? No, we're not. I think we're in Gemini now. Five of Swords. I think that there's a situation where, okay, let me rephrase. So we're still talking about the same thing, but now we're getting a little bit more detail into the circumstances. Five of Swords is telling me that there's resentment that might still be a factor in the future. So that's something to keep an eye on. Three of Cups overall is telling me that things will be able to be gotten over in a good way, like overall. But then there's still that underlying kind of bitterness, resentment factor about either something specific or just in general having that be a factor. But the Taurus is somebody who's very headstrong. Therefore, I think that it's not going to be a major factor. It's not going to affect the vibe overall. It's not going to affect things overall, but it's just that it's there to be recognized. King of Wands also feels like it's backing up that message with the Taurus, in that it's like that headstrong kind of mind over matter. Priorities is kind of the vibe I'm getting, like, you know, or when I say priorities in this context, I'm talking about not getting hung up on little things and instead seeing the bigger picture. And the bigger picture in this case is like this mentality of not letting petty disagreements shape your entire life. It's not worth it to have like resentment and bitterness against somebody. It's not worth it. Like, so even if you personally aren't planning on doing anything about this in the physical, it's more like a mentality to have about the situation. Because you might have already made your mind up that you're not going to do anything about it, but yet you might have some unresolved mindset that needs to shift. Ten of Pentacles reversed. It could be affecting your spiritual awareness, because sometimes that one comes up as prosperity and finances and stuff, but in this case the Pentacles coming up as spirituality, and it's reversed. But the Ten of Pentacles, if it were upright, would be like a really great card to see, and to me it would be more like future potential, but I see it more as stunted as long as this mentality is remaining how it is currently. One message I'm getting through is I don't know how to say it. accept or maybe pretend that you've had an apology, even if you hadn't. Like, you don't need the actual apology to act as if you received it, that kind of thing. Because some of you might be having some bitterness and you're like, well, if they would apologize, then I would da da da. Well, it's like, don't wait for that apology to come through, because it might never happen, and you just got to move forward as if it did and not let it weigh down on you. The moon and moon coming out, both of them, I feel is just further emphasizing, and they're both reversed, further emphasizing the message of the moon. And it's definitely saying you've improved from how you used to be when it was really fresh and new. Clearly some time has passed, and or you shifted out of that very quickly. So you've made great strides, but it's not 100% there yet. There's still more to go. Especially if you had this falling out with the person and they're not even a factor in your life anymore. Another message I'm getting with this is they've changed, but you're still holding that memory of how they used to be, and that's not accurate anymore. People who know them now wouldn't even associate what your vibe towards them is. Like, they are not there anymore. They're not in that place anymore. So you still are holding on to like a false version of them. And you might not have had all the facts to begin with. So if this were fresh, I would say you might not have all your facts right too. But especially if you picked pile 1. If you picked pile 1 and 2, although your spirituality is highly affected, like I said, in this one, if you picked 1, you also got judgment reversed. So you're getting double message of that. But also you got that heavy financial message. So 10 of Pentacles reversed is literal in that case too. You could be holding back your own abundance because of your mindset. So if you're in like a weird negative kind of mindset, then you're going to probably be stuck there until you shift out of it. You're going to be stuck there in all, like, you got to take an honest evaluation of your circumstances right now, financially and spiritually, and recognize that if it's not ideal, it could be you that's holding yourself back if you picked 1 and 2. Could be also just 2 also, but it's less of a message. It's meaning it's lesser of an energy. All right, so I'm going to put these aside and pull more cards. 5 of Cups reversed, Knight of Wands, 9 of Swords reversed, 2 of Pentacles. I'm putting the astrology cards to the side because they're just distracting me. The World, 4 of Cups, and 10 of Cups reversed. Ugh, I don't like these cards. But you have the World in the middle. Well, not really the middle, but you have it in the middle section. I will tell you what the astrology cards were just in case it means something to you. I don't know where one of them went actually. It was Saturn, which totally disappeared. Oh, very bottom. Okay, it was Saturn and South Node that came up. So if you know more about astrology than me, then you can delve into that a little bit of your own intuition and knowledge. Okay, 5 of Cups reversed is better than upright. 9 of Swords reversed is better than upright. So we got that going for you. 4 of Cups upright is still better than 5 of Cups. I'm trying to see the bright side here, you know. 2 of Pentacles. All right, so I'm finally getting messages coming through instead of just me like trying to tune in. Okay, you teeter back and forth between the 5 of Cups reversed energy and the 4 of Cups. The 5 of Cups reversed, like I said, is better because if it's upright, it's like you're in the middle of the guilt and the regret. And so you are not in the middle of it, it's past, but you notice it comes up to creep you. And it comes up in a 4 of Cups kind of way. I'll show you, you can kind of see. So this person is kind of fixated on these cups right here. And this is the negative mood. But always the biggest takeaway of the Four of Cups is that divine hand reaching out that cup, and the person is not perceptive of it. They're just like so focused on their you know, Five of Cups reversed kind of thing. So in this case, they're really fixated on the past, and they go back and forth between it being like resolved and it's not like heavy on their mind, to kind of dwelling on it and thinking about it. Same with the Nine of Swords reversed. Is somebody, if it's upright, it's like it's literally affecting them heavily, but when it's reversed, it's a subdued energy, and so it either only affects them occasionally, or it's not as strong, or something like that. So I feel like this is a carry forward message of what I was just talking about. It's further breaking it down, or it's further digging it in, or, you know, whatever. Ten of Cups reversed. Same thing as the Ten of Pentacles reversed. It's holding back your fulfillment in whatever. In this case, it's like fulfillment, literally feeling. Like the Four of Cups feeling versus the Ten of Cups feeling, because cups are emotion. So Nine of Swords, that's mental in your head. Ten of Cups, feeling. And when it's reversed, in your case, I'm kind of like feeling like there's something that's just within your reach. It's attainable, but you would have to change something. You'd have to change a mindset. You'd have to change a action, because the Two of Pentacles is like, should I change an action? That's literally the center card in your reading. So if you're wondering that, if there's something you're wondering, should you actually act on? The answer would be yes. And to act on it quickly, because it's a Knight of Wands. It's saying act on it quickly, and then you're sitting here kind of overthinking it. So you're talking yourself out of it, but then you're still thinking about it. Here's the World card. If you were to act on it, that would shift the Ten of Cups to be upright. So if you, like I was saying, if you're wondering, should you take action on something, it's a big resounding yes. It's like a hurry up so the opportunity doesn't pass. Don't let yourself talk yourself out of it. Which I'm getting a message of, you always do that. You always talk yourself out of whatever it is. So if that rings true for you, then you know it's legit and you're getting a yes. And you need to be strong. Like I think the past cards that I had gotten, you need to be headstrong. Where'd they go? I want to make sure this was, yeah, remember? King of Wands and the Taurus. Headstrong, straight up, like overriding, like put your head to it, make a decision, and then freaking do it. Make it happen. Don't talk yourself out of it. All right, last group of cards. You got the Virgo reversed, putting it to the side. Aquarius reversed, putting it aside. Mercury reversed, putting it to the side. Okay, so then you got 3 remaining cards. Page of Swords, Knight of Cups, and Emperor. Well, Knight of Cups is a message being offered. Remember I said with Knight of Wands, and it was right under, you know, it lined up right under it. I said, hurry up and do this before you change your mind. Don't change your mind. But this is how you want to deliver your message, is emotional message. You know, this would be like a practical message, like I have a goal, I have a reason. But this is like an emotional message, like I feel like I need to, this is something that, you know, I need to do, and I feel like I need to do for you as well, or something like that. But not so much. I am getting with these nights that it's like I need to do this, meaning you need to do this for your own reasons, kind of independent of the other person. Like, I need to get this off my chest for my own reasons because I am having problems with it, having not done it. How it affects you, I'm assuming you'll receive well, whatever. But Nine of Swords, sometimes I can't, reversed, sometimes I can't sleep at night. Five of Cups reversed, sometimes this comes up to haunt me. Four of Cups, I'm feeling depression because of it. Two of Pentacles, I've been weighing this for a long time and I've been indecisive, and now I'm finally Knight of Wandsing about it. Knight of Wandsing, making an action, because Ten of Cups reversed, I would like to feel some fulfillment here, in my life, and I just noticed that I'm in this rut. No matter what I do, I can't get out of it. Page of Swords reversed, Emperor. I think, let me get clarification on those two. I'm kind of like not getting a heavy message with them. Devil as a clarifier and Hierophant as a clarifier. Both major arcanas. I mean, I know what the cards are if it's a main message, but as a clarifier, oh, I know what it is. So sometimes when I get messages for a reading, it's not the cards themselves message. It's more like what's coming through me, which is like a state of kind of confusion. This is hard for me to pinpoint what's happening, or where it's coming from. Devil and Hierophant feel to me like the devil on the shoulder and the angel on the shoulder. You got a spiritual teacher, and then you've got, like, let's just say, like, it feels like worldly, like worldly, spiritual are the two opposing voices in your ear. So you have the tendency to understand and believe the spiritual side of things, but you listen to the worldly side talking in your ear. And that might be why that Page of Swords is reversed. You have a reason that is keeping you back. That's what it is. Now I'm getting it. You have a reason that's keeping you back from everything I had previously said. So then this happens, and you're like, the pros and cons kind of thing. It's like, yes, this will help you personally. You should do it. And it's like, but this is why you shouldn't. And then you're like, but I should, and you shouldn't. So you got the Emperor saying, but if you do, you will be personally in a better place, and therefore you should, kind of thing. Overall, that's the takeaway part of it, is if not the Ten of Cups upright, it's the Emperor. Like, it'll affect you overall in such a positive way. Any last parting messages? Sagittarius coming out, putting it to the side. Seven of Cups reversed and Page of Cups reversed. The Seven of Cups especially, and now Three of Pentacles reversed. The Seven of Cups especially feels to me like you might have been all over the place about this, but something's gonna happen, if not already, that you're gonna be able to see it clearly and be able to see why it's of benefit to you to do what's in your best interest in this situation and not think about anybody else. This has nothing to do with anybody else. Page of Cups, the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups are very similar, except Page of Cups means you don't have much to offer. Again, it's re-amplifying. It's all about you. You're doing this for you. And that's not a selfish thing in this instance. Three of Cups reversed. Three of Cups reversed. It just feels like a tied together message with the Page of Cups. Not much to offer, but I mean, you do have something to offer, though, actually, now that I'm thinking about this. Again, not much, but something. Like, I have this to contribute to you. Did you know? It could be something like you're clarifying something that was not understood. Because I've been saying this is about you, but you hold some kind of information that is valuable to the other person, that they would be able to gain from, they would be able to benefit from. And so it's not just you. If you got to use yourself for motivation, that's fine, but understand that they will also benefit from it. So it's like there's another check in the box. But don't overthink it like you always do. Don't do that anymore about this situation. Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords coming in hot. He's the fastest moving of all of the knights. Even faster than the Wands. Knight of Swords coming in with swords, thoughts, information, conversation, spoken word. That. Alright? So that was you for group 2, and if you had a blended 1 and 2, I gave you that message at earlier portion. And now I'm going to move on to 3, so stick around if you want the message of 3. Alright, group 3. If you pick this card back, then your card is the Hanged Man. Now, this card deck, I have never read from it before, ever, and it's not a Rider-Waite card deck, and I might have a problem reading this card deck because it's the Spirit Halloween tarot cards, and they're not really like regular legit tarot cards. They're meant to be like Halloween spooky scary kind of cards. I'm gonna do my best here. I'm gonna try. Let me put the Hangman back in. But if I have to switch to regular, I will. If I'm just too caught up on the novelty cards, you know, the imagery and all that. Okay. I had these out last October when I did a psychic fair. I had the cards out just because I thought they were cool looking, but I wasn't using them. Okay. The Star. That's actually a really pretty card for being Halloween. The Moon is the Werewolf. It was reversed. So if you picked 2 and 3 or 1 and 3, the Moon came out in both of those cards in the reversed position, and it's coming out in your cards in a whole different deck, mind you, in the reverse position as well. Hangman coming back out. That was the card, that was the main card for this reading. Magician is the Warlock. Not surprising. Reversed though, so that's to be noted. Ace of Pentacles. Mandragora. I think that's a plant name maybe, but I don't know. Ace of Pentacles is good. Wait, it came out reversed though. Never mind. Knight of Pentacles reversed. So you guys got a lot of blocked energy that needs to shift. For sure, for sure. With all these pentacles. Did I not shuffle them good enough? Is that what it is? Alright, I'm going to shift because I'm just getting too many pentacles, and it's either really strong coincidence or it's that, you know, I shouldn't use them. I'm gonna actually, because I have a reading coming up in person, I'm gonna continue with you guys later with new fresh cards, and if those same ones come back up, then we know that I didn't actually need to shift the card deck, but I'll be right back. Alright, group 3. Tried using those other cards, I don't know. I think I would have got too held up on the images anyway. So I'm using my tried and true Rider-Waite tarot tower card. let's start again. And then you got the Eight of Swords too. So you got Tower, King of Pentacles reversed. Maybe you did need the scary deck. Yeah, so King of Pentacles reversed, Eight of Swords, Queen of Pentacles reversed, and Four of Swords to start with. Four of Wands reversed also. So you got two fours. Death card. Judgment. Emperor reversed. Three of Pentacles. Page of Swords. Magician reversed. Justice reversed. Three of Wands upright. Alright, what are we talking about here? I just did an hour-long reading. My head's a little mushy right now, but it was a really good reading, and everybody that I looked into, I was accurately tapping into their energy, and then I can like describe their personality. And I'm kind of feeling like, because you got this King of Pentacles reversed and this Queen of Pentacles reversed, and then you also have the Page of Swords reversed, I feel like you have some people that could be tapped into. Who are they? Let me look at what, I wonder what this Tower is about. I mean, you probably know. You're like, I know what it's about. And then with the Death card, if you're wondering if something needs to end, that would be a yes. If you're wondering if something legal needs to happen, Justice reversed. Yes, but there's something with it. Because for some of you guys, this could be a falling out in a relationship and then a divorce happening. Or if you're not married, then an ending of relationship. But and then whatever ensues after that. Somebody's moving out, because the Four of Wands showing up in the reversed and right next to that Death card. It's like, so the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, they're just not seeing eye to eye anymore. They don't agree on finances either, or work ethic could be. And they don't have the same kind of spiritual mindset either. And one of them has felt like they have been wanting to leave for a while, but they waited on it. I think it's her, the female. She waited on it because she was kind of hoping and wondering if things were going to change. There's clearly something big that happened that started this. Not seeing anything before that big event, but that event could have been literally like saying, hey, this isn't working out. But regardless, that happened, and then parting of ways, emotionally at least. I mean, that's not coming up, but it just makes sense that you're just like still residing together, but not together. And then after some time went by, being like, okay, definitely need to change the living circumstances. And then that actually happening with the death. Judgment right after. I feel like there's still some unresolved business here. Emperor reversed. Three of Pentacles. So if you pick 2 and 3, those two cards came out right next to each other in the last reading, but Emperor was upright and Three of Pentacles was reversed. So they're coming up opposite now. this is, I forget what I said about it in pile 2, but in this reading, it's coming up as needing to start a new way forward, a new profession, even maybe changing gears completely, for the masculine. So whatever was before ending so that something new can begin, in this case, seems to do with a whole new way of life and living, and new going forward. I think there's, like I said, unfinished business, but there's also a lot left up in the air that needs to be sorted out and dealt with too. That's still needing to be resolved. And once that's settled, I feel like a fresher breath of air will happen. New energy, feeling unstuck, feeling really renewed, able to move forward finally, that sort of thing. Right now, everything's kind of stagnated. Everything's in limbo. If you pick 2 and 3, the thing is your reading in 2 is the reason why you're so stuck, you know? But if you just pick 3 only, it has to do more with the relationship. Okay. Because 2 is a lot about finances. So there's, if you pick 2 and 3, you got a lot about finances, is the takeaway from that. Okay, pile 3, people. I feel like you're going to have more difficulty upcoming. You might as well just mentally prepare for it. Let's say somebody's giving you a hard time. That's not going to end. Let's say somebody's trying to make your life difficult. It's not going to end. You know, it's somebody that you're currently dealing with. It's somebody who normally isn't like that, but they're just, you know, they're hurt. So because they're hurt, they're lashing out on you. You're the target. But as long as you are aware of that and not allowing it to get to you, then you're going to rise out on top of that, because you got your own stuff to deal with also. And by the way, the cards were 7 of Wands, Hierophant, 5 of Cups reversed. Oh, sorry, 7 of Wands reversed. Hierophant, 5 of Cups reversed, 8 of Cups, Queen of Swords, Sun, and 5 of Wands. In the future, I'm planning on doing like a top-down. What's the point of looking at me while I'm doing the reading? But then again, if you're sitting across from me, you're looking at me when I'm doing the reading. So it's kind of weird, I don't know. Most readers have a top-down, but I haven't really kind of figured out how to do that yet in a way that works for me and not interfering with me doing the reading, because that would defeat the purpose. So, and also, you don't have to like look at me, like you can just listen the way I do my readings. There's a positive there. You might get caught up on the imagery of the cards, and also you might, if you know tarot, it can distract you from you're thinking about what your meanings are. But I am loosely basing what I get on the actual cards, but the messages come in kind of filling in between the lines. Okay, let me put more cards out. 9 of Cups reversed, Hermit, 7 of Cups, 6 of Wands reversed, Wheel reversed, Strength reversed, Page of Cups upright. If you picked 1 and 3, you have to do the thing despite this current stuff going on, because this current stuff going on doesn't seem to be ending soon. And that's one of your things that's holding you back, is that you're like, well, once this stuff resolves, then I'll do something. But that's gonna be, you're gonna miss your opportunity. So whatever this weird stuff going on is feeling like it's gonna drag out for a while for you, you need to take action regardless. All right, so there's my side note for you guys. Back to pile 3. Hermit is shining light on something, and I wonder what that is. He's looking down. I mean, I'm sometimes drawn to the actual card itself. So he's looking down at something. It's like something stopped him in his tracks. And he's like, oh, wait a minute, this is interesting. Let me look at this for a minute and study it and figure it out. Which Hermit's seen a lot. Hermit knows a lot. There's not much that stopped Hermit in his tracks, but this did. So and to me, with the 9 of Cups being right next to it, it's like I keep getting drawn to it. It's like he's looking at the 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups reversed. When it's upright, it's like wish fulfillment. Reversed is like you can wish for it all day, it's not going to happen. Hermit is trying to figure out why, maybe. Hermit is like using all my skills. What can I do to help this situation in the best way possible? And he's coming up short. He's like, this goes beyond my expertise. There's nothing I can do here. I'm stuck. Everything I'm trying isn't working. And there's a little bit of frustration that I'm picking up on. Further emphasized by the Strength reverse, same thing. It's like, I am trying to tame this beast, but nothing is working. All my usual tricks, not happening. Wheel reversed. Nothing's changing, everything's staying the same. So something's held up, something's being delayed, something is just no movement. Could be many things with the 7 of Cups, not just one thing. So if you picked pile, I think 1 and 3, another takeaway message is that I'm trying to think. There was like, you needed, with that 9 of Wands, you need to do one thing at a time, but yet don't delay and get things done. And the 7 of Cups is kind of showing me that you're not able to. You're like waiting. You're like, yeah, I wish I could do that, but actually there's nothing I can do. I'm either waiting on a certain date to arrive, or I'm waiting on a response from someone, or I'm waiting is the point. I'm getting this waiting feeling, and it's out of your hands, it's out of your control. So I would say use your time productively on other things, because it's going to annoy you to no end and not be able to deal with this, but it's out of your hands. I'm getting the annoying message of divine timing being at play here. Things will work out when and how they're supposed to. And it's not something you can intervene on, and nothing that you can, you know, make it hurry up or change the outcome. So if you picked 3, that's the same message, but with 1, it was like, you have things that you need to do. With 3, it's like, you have things you need to do and you can't right now, and that sucks. And 3, it's like, it's like, everything sucks right now kind of feeling. Maybe not everything, but all the things that I'm talking about, that you know what I'm talking about. So 3 of Cups is coming out here. I'll tell you what the cards are. Knight of Cups, King of Swords reversed, 3 of Cups, and Ace of Cups reversed. But that 3 of Cups is showing me you need to like not be dwelling on this right now and go and do something that'll help get your mind off everything. You need a reset. You need to enjoy yourself, have some fun, get out of your rut. Especially if you notice you're a bit of a pessimist, you have to not dwell in that right now, you know, not allow yourself to get stuck like the hermit is, looking down at something and getting fixated on it. It's like he spaced out for a minute and he's like, wait, what? Where was I? What was I doing? A lot of absent-mindedness because you got all these things that are weighing you down. And this that cup being upside down is like the glass half empty. So Knight of Cups coming in to help refill your cup for you. You kind of need some outside intervention. Call up a friend or somebody that you're cool with and be like, man, I really need to like get my mind off my problems for a little bit because I'm just too entrenched in. I need somebody to dig me out real quick. Can you help me get my mind off my problems? And then you'll have like a restored and fresh energy about it. You'll be able to approach it better and actually maybe have some revelations come to you that you're able to deal with everything better. World reversed. 6 of Swords. 10 of Cups reversed. 3 of Swords reversed. 2 of Cups. Moon. 7 of Pentacles. And Chariot. Okay, good. So Chariot tells me that things will start moving forward. But that's the last card. So it's like the assurance is there if you're wondering if anything's going to end up progressing. Yes, it will. But the 7 of Pentacles right before it is saying you're going to be waiting before that happens. It's going to take some time. And the Moon right before that is telling me it's going to be darkest before the dawn, in that you're going to be like, is this ever going to end? So that's especially why you need to get out of your rut, because otherwise it's just going to be like this perpetual funk that you're in due to waiting on this happening. With the 3 of Swords and the 10 of Cups coming out reversed, you guys began with a relationship ending. However, you have a chance for new love with the 2 of Cups coming out right after that heartbreak. If you wanted that, you know, you have the opportunity. It could be the same person, you know, it could be, like I said, a new love. It could be either one. So, but that's not yet. That's down the line. The 6 of Swords is somebody leaving a situation that they didn't necessarily want to. World reversed is like you don't want the world reversed, you want it upright, because when it's reversed, it's like disempowered. So disempowered and maybe giving up and leaving the relationship without trying really hard to fix it and mend it, feeling like there's no way to, it's too difficult or it's too late. But then Two of Cups coming out is like, maybe it was for the best. Maybe it was a blessing in disguise and that relationship wasn't supposed to happen. And maybe there's a new and better thing for you. Or maybe it's change of perspective and you're able to reconcile. And but some time has to go by first, and some changes need to be made within the people involved, so that that epiphany and the changing of mentality can happen. And then with the moon coming out after that Two of Cups, I already gave like my messages for what that might mean anyways, so I want to get more clarification on, yeah. Honestly, if you're trying to reconcile this relationship and give it another shot in the future, another chance, I'm not sure it's going to pan out. Okay? Seven of Swords, Star, Ace of Cups, or, oh my god, we did Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, Lovers reversed, Ten of Swords reversed, Ten of Wands reversed, and High Priestess. If you know deep down that it's not going to end up panning out, or you're not going to be able to give it your all, don't bother with the second chance part of it. If there's something that you can't come forward with and be 100% honest about, if there's something that you're hiding, even from yourself, but you know it, obviously, but you know, if there's something that you just is like a skeleton in your closet with that person, and you can't be forthright with them about it, it's something you keep to yourself, then there's always like a part allocated to that you're not able to just like share with them. And I feel that's gonna contribute to why ultimately it won't work out. If you are forthright with them and let them in on this, then it might not work out anyway, but you have a better chance of it because you're being 1,000% honest, and at least you are admitting to yourself out loud through another person. They know where you stand. The truth has been said. And though it may not work out as a result of that being shared with them, you've been honest and you've been forthcoming. And it might not be as bad as you think. Or at least you'll feel better about it. That's kind of a pile one thing also. Because it could be we're talking about a different person. Remember what I said? A new love. But it could be somebody from the past, but we're not the present person. Hard to explain. But if it applies to you, you know what I'm saying. So you might have some things that need to be said to more than one person if you picked 1 and 3. We're not talking about the person from pile 1. We're not talking about the breakup person that you need to be open and honest with, but that further says you definitely need to take action with the person from pile 1 that one was talking about. All right, anything left? Temperance, Empress reversed, Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Wands reversed, 5 of Pentacles, Fool reversed, and Ace of Pentacles. So you've got the Ace of Cups, you've got the Ace of Swords, you got the Ace of Wands reversed, the Ace of Cups was reversed too, and you got the Ace of Pentacles in your reading. You got all 4 of the aces That's kind of important. Again, with the last card of the whole spread being the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like you ultimately, especially, you know, earlier you got the Chariot, which was the last of the cards in that spread, you ultimately are going to be able to move forward. But it's just that right now, there's this stagnation. So it's coming back up again. Try to not let other people make decisions for you is coming up. Try to be, you know, stand in your own shoes and make your decisions. Be firm in them. Say what you mean. Say what you think. If you, in pile 3, have the tendency to hold back what you think and feel because you're not wanting to ruffle feathers, if you, in pile 3, have somebody who walks over you and you let them because you're too either shy or you're too timid, or, you know, you've been beat down before, so you learn how to shut up, kind of thing, you know, that's coming up. Like, whatever your reason for why you in the past maybe have not stood up for yourself, that is something that needs to change. And maybe you're taking steps toward it, which is great. But in order for you to get from that Knight of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles, that new fresh start, you're gonna have to, like, put your foot down and make a stand for what you believe in. And if you picked another reading where I actually said those same words, and you pick that pile, then you know that's true for your instance. Full reverse is scared to make a move because they're afraid that they're gonna fuck up. But the only thing you can do to further screw up your situation is inactivity, is not doing anything. That's gonna screw you up. The Ace of Wands reversed. Inaction is what is gonna screw up your situation. Not being the fool and making some decisions that may mess up, you know. No, they're gonna lead to the Ace of Pentacles. So just go ahead and do it. Empress. The Temperance upright and Empress reversed right next to each other. I feel like the Empress sees their potential, but they just feel like they're stuck in their ways and that they don't feel like they can change, and they've made peace with things as they are. And that's unfortunate because it doesn't have to be like that. You can teach an old dog new tricks. You can. You just gotta have bigger incentive. You gotta have better treats. You gotta change how you're approaching things. You gotta change your state of mind to be more fun-loving and free-spirited and not so, like, bogged down. Alright, any last parting messages? No. Not in this manner. I am gonna check if there's any parting messages by just picking a random card. 2 of Pentacles. Don't be indecisive. Make a stand for something and do it. That's separate from, remember, that's separate from the fact that there's so many things that are out of your control. But whatever is out of your control is out of your control. Fine, make peace with it. But what is in your control, that's what you need to be definitive on and take action towards, because that is where you need to focus your energy on in order to get you out of that energy so that you can be into the new energy. All right? I hope that give you a little, I don't know, I would normally say like motivation or peace of mind or whatever, but I think in your case you need like, you really do need to call on that friend and get yourself out of your rut. Go do something and hang out and remember, like, restore your spirit, you know, that kind of thing. Because just sticking to yourself and isolating right now is not the right time. You're good at that. You can do that. That's fine. Normally. But you need a boost. You need a redirect. So in this instance, you need to do that ASAP. And then come back and deal with your shit again. Alright?